Good evening, Adam Wason, Public Works Director for the City of Bloomington. It is 5:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June
Please no.
Tuesday, June 16th, 2026. We're in the McCloskey Room of City Hall for the regularly scheduled Board of Public Works meeting, and I will turn it over to Board President Elizabeth Crum.
Hello, everyone, and I call to order tonight's regular meeting of the Board of Public Works for Tuesday, June 16th. First, we have messages from board members. Are there any messages from the board?
Not necessarily a message, but during staff reports, I'd love to get a update on the Clubhouse Drive bridge.
Okay. Still closed.
Yes.
Yes.
There you go. No need to
And Elizabeth, if you would mention for the online folks about public comment, I forgot to do that in my opening remarks.
Sure. If anyone has public comment on tonight's meeting agenda, you may use the chat function on Zoom or the Zoom link that is in tonight's agenda. Again, we are in McCloskey Room, which is not our typical location at City Hall, but we are just down the hall from Council Chambers. We'll start tonight with Title VI abatements. First, we have 1520 South Woodruff.
All right, good evening. I'm going to take this one and just let you know that Housing and Neighborhood Development is seeking an abatement for 1520 South Woodruff Lane. This is based on violations of Title VI for overgrown weeds, grass, or noxious plants. They provided their notices of violation on the 14th of May, 21st of May, 28th of May, and 5th of June. This is for an overgrown lawn area and such. So they also attached a series of 6 pictures, and we have staff. We have Jeremy from hand here to answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you. Any questions from the board on this item?
Who's answering the questions?
We've got, yeah, so.
Any idea what's going on here? Is it a vacant house? Is there anyone living there?
No, someone lives there. This is actually.
Hey, Jeremy, if you could just come to the microphone and just state your name for the record, sorry.
This is the one that's going to be. Hi, Jeremy Bettis with Housing and Neighborhood Development. The property in question here, it's eventually going to be foreclosed, I believe.
Okay.
But it appears we've had no contact with the owner, so.
Mm-hmm.
Despite repeated attempts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, any comments from the public on this item? Again, if you are on Zoom, feel free to use the chat or the raise hand function.
And on Zoom for this.
One question. Is this a continuous? Yes, this is a continuous abatement request, right? Okay, thanks.
Any additional questions? All right, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the continuous abatement at 1520 South Woodruff.
Second.
With a motion and a second, I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox-Deckard?
Aye.
Carone, aye. Motion passes. Next, there's a Title VI abatement request for 501 East Grimes Lane.
Again, Adam Wason, Public Works Director, on behalf of Hand and our legal team. This is at 501 East Grimes. And so Hand staff has issued notices of violation on the 21st, 29th of May, 29th of May, and 3rd of June. There are a couple pictures in your packet that show quite a bit of garbage, debris, recyclables throughout the property. So this is an abatement to clean up the property, and property owner was notified with those notices of violation, and so they would request abatement and would be a continuous one if it was to reoccur.
We do have representation online for 501 East Grimes.
Okay.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Similar questions as before. Have there been any direct contact with the owner? I understand that there may be somebody online, and what do we know what the situation is?
Steve Tamowitz, Housing and Neighborhood Development Compliance Officer. So I've emailed the owner on 5/11 about this property, and I have spoke with the tenants also in person, gave them multiple verbal warnings.
Can I ask a process question? This item had 3 NOVs. The first one incurred a monetary penalty. The last one we heard was 4, and the first one was a warning. What's the difference when you attach a warning the first time versus you go straight to a
I believe it was,
penalty?
it went 50, 100, 150 for the
That-
fines.
That's correct, but the prior one we saw got a warning the first time, so there were 4, and then 50, 100, 150.
And
So-
then the first time, I'm sorry,
So on the.
last year?
No, so I think what Elizabeth's asking is on 520 South Woodruff that we just heard, there was originally a notice of violation that was a warning on the 14th of May, and then 3 subsequent fines. On this one, we just didn't issue a warning because you had probably verbal
The
content.
verbal, yes.
So the warning he was doing probably verbally instead of actually doing
Because
it written. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I had a U report on 5-4 assigned to me, so
Okay, so you had already spoken with
Yes.
the property, the tenants or the property owner at that point?
the tenants
The
at
tenants.
that point.
Okay,
And then 511, I emailed the property owner.
great.
Okay.
This is the.
And we do have someone online that would like to speak about this property, so if you don't mind, we'll go that route.
They
And
are unmuted.
yep, and they're unmuted. So please go ahead.
Hello, hi, my name is Katie Norris. I am the Executive Director of Hotels for Homeless. I would like to put my 2 cents in here on this. I've spoken with Steve, the inspector, earlier. I think we have a good plan going forward. If there's any issues, due to the abatement, he will contact me. I'll be able to go over there, send my people over there to keep it clean. I was told by Angela that my best hope here of being able to get the fees waived would be to come to this meeting, because we had already missed the deadlines. I feel like I was notified of the issue when it was too late. Once I was notified of the issue, I immediately sent my son over with our truck, and he was able to get the mattresses out. We thought that that was, the all that was to the issue. He did it, same day as soon as we found out. And then we found out that there was more that needed to be done. I believe that has been completed. Steve, am I correct? Did you go back over and check?
I took a picture today and there's still garbage like in the driveway and, there's
Okay.
scattered deposits of garbage.
Okay, if you're able to email me those, I can go over there myself. I did send somebody else after I spoke with you, but I can go there myself and make sure that is picked up. Is it large items, like things I won't personally be able to get?
I mean, it's scattered throughout the yard. I mean, it's hard to say.
Okay, well, I might take somebody with me then. Anyway, I would like to, I appreciate you, Steve, for all that you do, keeping our community clean. I appreciate all of what all of you do. But I would like to kind of plead my case here for the fees to be waived based on the circumstances of this home and the landlord. So the landlord is.
Sorry, may I interrupt real quick? Are you the
Yeah.
property owner or the landlord?
I am not. So
Okay.
I work for a company that facilitated the landlord to have those tenants in. And like when we get a landlord to take Section 8, I mean, he had never taken Section 8 before. So when we get a landlord in our community to take Section 8, that's kind of the cream of the crop. I mean, that's the best thing we can do is to get somebody long-term stable housing. That's what we do. I mean, we put people in hotels, but we get them into long-term stable housing, and then we work on relationships with landlords for the long term, not only for the clients we're working with, but for future. And I would hate for this landlord to be penalized financially due to something that he did, as a good deed or in good faith towards our community to help those in need. I'd also like to speak on the family.
So, Ms. Norris, I guess that my reason for asking if you are an owner or a tenant of the property, in order for this board to probably, and I would ask our legal team to kind of help here too, is, I think the tenants or the property owner would need to be the one to appeal to have fines waived. Someone that has an auxiliary relation with the tenants that's trying to facilitate the Section 8 and stuff, appreciate the efforts, understand that's very important work, but to actually have a formal appeal of fines that have been issued, I believe we would need either the tenants or the property owner or whoever the fines were actually issued to make that appeal. And I don't know if anything limits
So I
us.
guess what I was told was that it was too late for that, and so that I should attend this meeting on behalf of them.
if deadlines-
And miss that deadline.
Yeah, and if deadlines were missed on when those appeals would need to be filed and such, I don't know that we're prepared to take action one way or the other on that this evening. I think it would have to be for a conversation with our city legal and others to figure out if it's the appropriate thing to do. But a decision on the spot tonight for that is not something I would ask this board to do.
One thing I do want to clarify, in the situation, like what we have before us tonight is to,
Yes.
approve or deny the abatement, which is basically the cleaning of the property. If by the time the city is conducting the abatement, if the property is clean and does not require abatement, then the abatement will not need to move forward. So that's the issue at hand tonight, and the abatement does carry a cost to it. So it is still important that, based on decisions that are made by this board this evening over the abatement, that the property be cleaned before the city has to actually conduct the abatement. Correct?
Yeah, do you guys do a 10-day notice after tonight's meeting for the property?
I believe so.
Yeah, there's a notification time frame there, so there would be time to get the property into compliance before we would actually send a contractor out to do the abatement. That's how we've done these in the past.
So then we tonight are voting on approval of the abatement itself, not necessarily the fines incurred along with that.
Correct. We can, I'm happy to talk with Katie tomorrow or figure out, how to actually, if they want to make a formal appeal. There are deadlines that need to be met for the appeal, so if those are passed, it may need to be that the appeal happens through the circuit courts at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm not the hand attorney, and I didn't have a chance to speak with him before this meeting. I'm sorry, he's online?
Taylor is.
Oh, okay. So Taylor, if you know the answer to this and you want to jump in, that would be great. Because I don't know the timelines for an appeal. Tonight, I don't think would be appropriate for you guys to be deciding on an appeal of a ticket. It's just on the abatement. I do agree with Adam as well that we would need a tenant or a property owner, or perhaps a formal designation of someone to appear on their behalf. I'm not sure that we can accept just someone showing up and appealing on anyone's behalf as a representative of the property. Taylor, do you have any additional clarification?
Hi, Taylor Brown, City Legal. I apologize. I'm home. Not feeling well, so I'm homesick today, but I am here in spirit and a disembodied voice. I agree with the initial assessment. I believe it would have to be a property owner or their specific designee, like a registered agent. And unless I'm much mistaken, those have to be the appeals of the fines themselves aren't done through the Board of Public Works. I believe they have to be done through the courts. I would have to confirm that. I know that's the way for the BHQA, but I don't know if that is specifically for the Board of Public Works, because I know there's lots of extra rules around the Board of Public Works. As far as the meeting this evening, this is just about the abatement, not the fines in particular. But again, I'm happy to meet afterwards, and then with either Adam or whoever it is, and we can get that process sorted out specifically around this particular housing situation.
Perfect. Thank you, Taylor.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Should I leave my contact information with somebody, or should I take down somebody's contact information?
Yeah, if you can just send it to Miranda in the chat, that would be great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Katie.
I have just a quick follow-up question. You said the communication that you had was with the tenants, in this kind of situation, is the landlord ever copied on these communications, or by matter of course, you are always dealing with the tenants in a property that does have a landlord?
Well, the landlord, or in this case, the owner, gets mailed the notice of violation also.
Okay,
Or sometimes the registered agent.
Yes,
Great.
and also the agent.
okay, thank you. Any other questions from the board? Is there any public comment on this item? Again, we were talking about the continuous abatement for 501 East Grimes.
None on Zoom.
All right, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the continuous abatement for 501 East Grimes Lane.
Second?
A motion and a second. I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Carone? Aye. Motion passes. Next on the agenda is petitions and remonstrances, which is a time for anyone to make comments on items that are not on tonight's agenda. Again, if you are on Zoom, feel free to use the chat or raise hand function. If you would come over to the microphone and state your name, please.
My name's John Simpson.
Okay, we'll have a 3-minute per for public comment tonight.
Hold on, let me get to my page.
I haven't started yet.
I went to the wrong thing. I thought there was a lot of people here.
We're not as
that popular. All right, go ahead, thank you.
I did some work for the city in March, finished in early April, and they haven't paid me. And nobody's standing up and saying why. Nobody's, a phone call, explanation, something. I work strictly for municipal entities for the last 16 years. I've never encountered this. You had 45 days by contract to pay me, and we're long past that. And I do understand it's going to get paid now, but I deserve an answer. There's some language that's, every one of these contracts has invalid language in it, or invalid, or that's not the right. It can be anyway. It's likely invalid. Basically says that I can't be damaged by you guys. Sure, I'm damaged. You should have paid me. And I want somebody. I want an answer why. I want somebody to apologize to me. I did the city a solid. There was multiple things that I could have gone after for changes, and I didn't. I'm always the good guy. I am always righteous. And city didn't have its right of way. You had trees that were inside a private fence. So this was a job cutting trees. How was I supposed to know I'm cutting a tree inside this fence? It was said all the trees had to be marked a certain way, whatever they weren't marked. It's minor stuff, but at the same time, money's money. I did the work. I want to get paid. I would like, I don't think you're going to respond to me, but I would like some meaningful response. There, did I get it in under 3 minutes?
You did. Thank you very much.
Did you want to respond?
We are
Well,
not able to
yeah,
respond.
I got it.
Yeah.
We're all free people. You can do anything you want.
Yep.
Whether it's advised or not, maybe a different story.
Thank you.
Thank you,
very
Mr.
much.
Simpson. I'll make sure that I follow up with the engineering department and try to get some answers. Thank you.
All right, are there other comments under petitions and remonstrances?
None on Zoom.
Okay, then we will move to the consent agenda. On tonight's consent agenda, the minutes from April 21, 2026, minutes from May 4th, 2026, Resolution 2026-029, Mobile Vendor Liquid Sunshine LLC, right-of-way special event for the 2026 Taste of Bloomington, right-of-way special event for the 2026 4th of July Parade, right-of-way special event for 2026 Bloomerang Music Festival, memorandum of understanding between City of Bloomington Parks and City of Bloomington Engineering for median improvements, change order number 1 for the Union Street crosswalk with E&B paving, resolution 2026-030, art on the traffic box at Waldron, and payroll. Are there any items that need to be removed from the consent agenda tonight?
I don't have anything that needs to be removed, but did you get my message about the parks
Oh, on the
agreement.
East Third and
Yeah,
West
it's
Third.
just it's just a typo. It's
Yeah.
not anything that needs to be
Yes.
changed. Okay, sorry, just wanted to make sure.
Thank you for that. Does the board have any questions on the consent agenda? Is there public comment on the consent agenda?
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the consent agenda for this meeting on June 16th of 2026.
Second?
I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Corone? Aye. Motion passes. Next is new business. First on the new business agenda is the right-of-way closure request for HR Green at 2500 West 3rd Street.
Hi there, Kyle Ball with engineering. So this project is taking place at West 3rd and South Kimball Drive, the former Cozy Table site. The request is for a lane closure and a sidewalk diversion. The lane closure would be the westbound lane, so the northernmost lane if you're looking at the aerial, and the adjacent sidewalk. The lane closure would be used to accommodate that diversion for the sidewalk. I will note that since the staff report was written, I think that these dates will be updated, but the duration will remain the same. So I think we noted 2 to 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks for the work. They'll be reconstructing the sidewalk in that area. And then along Kimball Drive as well. I would just note that the sidewalk that's on the west side of Kimball is non-continuous. It doesn't go north of that property. So one of those awkward shifts that just kind of dumps folks into a parking lot. Sorry, any questions?
Thank you. Questions from the board? Is there any public comment on this item?
None on Zoom.
Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the right-of-way closure request for HR Green at 2500 West 3rd Street.
Second?
I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Corone? Aye. Motion passes. Next is the right-of-way closure request for Michaelis on South Walnut Street.
Kyle Ball, engineering again. So this request is at 405 South Walnut on the east side of the street to accommodate some guardrail replacement. This would be for 4 consecutive days to occur sometime between July 1st and 14th of this year. So the pedestrian route would be detoured to the west side of South Walnut. Yeah, that one's a little more simple.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Actually, sorry, I'm gonna ask one, if I may. 405 South Walnut, which block is that? Like, what? Can you help familiarize where
So
we're
it
talking?
is just south of Smith Ave.
Just south of Smith. So
So like Chocolate Mousse, yeah.
Okay.
I think we've seen this company working on several facades throughout that area in the last couple of years.
Okay. Just making sure they maintain business access as needed and such.
In coordination with other projects in that area, both the convention center and otherwise.
Good thing this is Walnut.
Yeah, I know. That was my first thought. And it's the sidewalk specifically,
Yes.
not
Yeah.
the
Yes.
other
Yeah.
traveling lanes. So let's see. Sidewalk closure will be on the east side. So it will be potentially in front of Chocolate Mousse. I'm trying to imagine the guard, like
Yeah.
the word guardrail is throwing me
Yeah,
off a
here's
little bit.
a photo just from the maps. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, I did look into
Where
it
the guardrail
closely.
is.
It might be some sort of, fencing like we see at some along the at some of the establishments downtown.
Like it may have more to do with the building
Yeah.
than the streetscape. Is that what we're
Yes.
thinking? Okay. Which, if it's the building, I'm just curious. I would imagine Chocolate Mousse would be informed as part of their tenancy. Their
What I'm struggling with is there's 403 and there's 409. And we're citing 405. That's where I was kind of confused which building it was actually on.
It looks like it's Urban Station.
It's listed as Chocolate Mousse.
Yeah, I just have, Google shows Urban Station as 403, so that's why I was,
Okay.
but, okay.
So maybe Chocolate Mousse itself is 405.
Yeah, that's what Google showed.
Okay.
Oh. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the board? All right, public comment on this item.
None on Zoom.
Seeing none, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the right-of-way closure request for Mike Ellis on South Walnut Street.
Second.
I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Carone, aye. Motion passes. Next is a right-of-way closure request for Ridge Point Construction on West 8th Street.
Kyle Ball, engineering again. Ridgepoint Construction, they're requesting a sidewalk closure at 1617 West 8th Street for sidewalk replacement. They're looking for 2 days to occur sometime between June 17th and June 30th. I will admit I have a typo here. Still getting used to our new template format. So this area is another area where there's just no sidewalks to detour to. So what we'd ask here is for a pedestrian guided diversion where the crews are on the lookout for anybody that might need assistance to get around this work area. It looks like there's no sidewalk continuing west of Spring Street. There is one that goes east on Hay Street, down 8th across Hay Street. Sorry, a lot of words. But we would ask them to, be responsible for maintaining the traffic there.
I'm so sorry. As I was reviewing the Google Maps, there's no one else other in the picture of that location than the famous Dave Askins on the Google Map. So literally, when you look, Dave is crossing the crosswalk.
At the Chocolate Mousse.
At the
I've actually seen that.
towards the Chocolate Mousse. I was like, wait a second. I'm looking at the maps and I'm scrolling, and then I just see, hey, that's Dave. I couldn't help myself, so.
Preserved in Google memory.
Yes.
On the West 8th Street right-of-way closure, how does this fulfill city ordinance related to pedestrian diversion?
So in these cases, it really puts us in a tough position, right? So we really should have a pedestrian diversion for every sidewalk closure throughout the city. That at some point makes it impossible for smaller contractors to be able to complete the work just because of the sheer cost of erecting one of those diversions. The other thing is just the prudence of it. If you're having a closure there for 2 days, the cost of operating that is going to be more than you're going to make on any of those jobs. The other side of it is just locations. If we're asking for a pedestrian diversion to be erected, down West 17th Street, that's an extremely long stretch of road next to high-speed traffic. So it's just not an ideal scenario. And we go back and forth with how to advise folks to go about these closures with those factors in mind.
So is the pedestrian assisted guidance, does that fulfill the walk around? Like they're being assisted in the walk around, I guess.
That's what I'm looking at, right? In a location like the 1617 West 8th Street, it's towards, it's in a very small residential neighborhood, probably lighter traffic. So, as long as, ideally you're going to do a walk around or get them to the other side of the street. There's not a sidewalk on the other side, so that's when, you're literally expecting the contractor to assist someone that is a pedestrian that has any type of mobility, challenging circumstance to get around their site, to help walk them literally around for that, half a block or quarter block, to just really pay attention to the site. Not ideal, but, again, this is a very low volume residential side street.
And the contractors are specifically made aware that it's their responsibility to do this guided?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
And we can follow, can you guys make sure, can we follow up with just a written communication on their permit to really highlight that as one of the conditions?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Other questions from the board? Any public comment on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the right-of-way closure request for Ridge Point Construction on West 8th Street.
Second?
I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Carone? Aye. Motion passes. Next is the right-of-way closure request for Advantage Painting and Maintenance on South Curry Pike and West Roll Avenue.
All right, so another unique sidewalk closure. Kyle Ball for engineering once again. So this project has been in the works for a few months at this point. So they are requesting a sidewalk closure in order to reconstruct the sidewalk as part of the site conditions, site requirements. I'm sorry. They're requesting 2 weeks of closure here. And in this closure, there's not a paired sidewalk on the west side of South Curry. So it'll be more of a pedestrian guided diversion where they would use the private lot that's in the construction area to navigate folks through.
Thank you. Just noting that this is a much higher traffic area than what we had just spoken about. Questions from the board?
So what, so they're replacing the sidewalk as part of a site approval. What is happening? Is the building being rebuilt? Is it being addition? What?
I believe it's a new restaurant that's going in here. So typically, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but they've triggered some kind of compliance requirement where all the sidewalks have to be updated. I would have to imagine that they would have to have a curb ramp placed there at Roll and Curry Pike. This area in general is not accessible as it stands. Anywho, so anything we can do to help improve it.
This is the old Highland Lounge location. is
That's
that
right, I was just gonna note, that's the old Highland Lounge location.
The infamous.
Famous places of Bloomington.
Aye.
Chocolate Mousse, Highland Lounge. We're covering them all this evening.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just looking at the site conditions now, yeah, so it looks like it'll be curb ramp at Curry and Roll, improved sidewalks, and they do have plenty of space in that private parking lot it's without a doubt the safest way to try to detour that traffic, given the trying to cross, there's nowhere to take it otherwise, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good use of that, so, thank you.
So again, if I can just request written follow-up with the contractor to make sure that everybody knows the guided detour goes through the parking lot, please.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Any public comment on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the right-of-way closure request for Advantage Painting and Maintenance on South Curry Pike and West Roll Avenue.
And please do let the minutes reflect that I do not see Dave Askins near Curry Pike and Roll on my Google Maps.
And with that, I will second it.
With a motion and a second, I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Carone? Aye. Motion passes. Next is the right-of-way closure request for CFC at 205 North College Avenue.
Rebecca Davis, Engineering. This request comes from a petitioner requesting the approval of temporary right-of-way closure at the 200 block of North College Avenue and the 200 block of West 6th Street to accommodate crane placement and masonry tuck pointing on the Graham Plaza building. Work will be done by Humphreys Masonry. The request includes the temporary closures of metered parking adjacent to the building, the westernmost lane of North College Avenue, and the westbound lane of West 6th Street as necessary to stage the crane and complete the work safely. The closures are proposed in 2 separate phases, happening between the dates of June 22nd and July 28th. The intention is to have 1 lane closure at a time as work is performed on 2 separate faces of the building. Pedestrian and vehicular traffic will be maintained, shifted, or rerouted in accordance with the approved maintenance of traffic plan. Let's see. I feel like it gets a little redundant here. They're going to close approximately 7 parking spaces. There will be 2 short duration sidewalk closures, less than 24 hours total, but that's just for the staging of the overhead protection that they're going to provide to keep the sidewalk open. Petitioner shall install and maintain all required signage, barricades, and traffic control devices, maintain access to adjacent properties, and limit the closure to the minimum area and duration necessary to complete the work.
Thank you. Questions from the board?
Sounds like we're going to turn college into a pedestrian.
It's like playing Frogger.
Yeah.
Where
I mean, I think in many ways, this type of work actually may work best when we're already trying to kind of divert people away from college anyway. So I think it's probably good to get it done. Well,
Now is better than August.
yes, exactly.
So will the westernmost southbound lane of College be closed at the same time or a different time as the westbound lane of West 6th?
Different time, because they're going to have one crane, and they will start on the college side,
Sure.
college facing side, and then that crane will move.
Okay,
And then, so.
great. Thank you.
We might want to talk with Mr. Humphries about it, looking specifically at the convention center timing and if it makes more sense to ask him to do 6th first and have less overlapping of the college closures, but
I think if he does college first, I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah.
Because it could be that that's wrapping up by the time the other
Yeah.
closure is in effect. Because it's the 29th, is that right? June 29th.
June 29th through the 24th of July, I think was what the. So it's just something in the details in the conversations we have
Sure.
with Mr. Humphries that we could possibly make just minor tweaks if needed.
Okay.
Any other questions from the board? Questions from public comment on this item?
None on Zoom.
All right, is there a motion?
I move that we approve the right-of-way closure request for CFC at 205 North College Avenue.
Second.
I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Carone? Aye. Motion passes. Next on the agenda is staff reports.
Good evening, Adam Wason again, Public Works Director. To Board Member Roach's question earlier about an update on the Clubhouse Drive road closure due to the issues with the bridge there. I don't have an official update for you right now, but I can get with our, mayor's office, legal and engineering, who are kind of heading up that conversation with the county and others. I don't know that there's been much progress or not, so I don't have great information there, but can follow up on that. Other things of note, we're talking a lot about road closures and detours. It's certainly that time of season in Bloomington, and there's a lot. The near west side, southwest of City Hall here, has a lot going on with the Hopewell project, with Rogers Street reconstruction and paving. So it is, just advising the traveling public, if you can avoid 2nd and Rogers and choose an alternate route for that area of the city for the next several weeks and month. Plus, that would be well advised as someone who's a commuter on 2nd Street regularly. I'm finding some alternate routes. So, as we talked about in a staff meeting earlier this morning, if you go that way, it's going to be problematic right now. Yeah. But do appreciate it. We've got a lot of investment going on, and so that's the takeaway too. Is that it's not for there will be good infrastructure improvements with all of these closures. So the Kirkwood Brick sidewalk project is going pretty well. We are, the rain hampered that project on the onset, but they're starting to make up some ground. They've moved to the 400 block where, Jimmy John's, Nick's, and Village Deli and Trinity Churches. So they're moving, they were starting on that block, and what we know is the subsequent block, the 500 block was the most intense block with the tree plots and some of the more intensive work there for the Kirkwood sidewalk project. So hopefully they'll be able to gain some ground, and yeah, that's all I have for you tonight though.
Just a note of thanks, that 500 block of Kirkwood looks beautiful. They've done a fantastic job. I know it's taken a lot of work and weather delays, so thank you for that.
The patina should match up a little bit better in the future, get a little wear on the new bricks, and it'll, yeah, it looks great. And those trip hazard, yeah, it's good investment in our downtown.
Yeah.
Next on the agenda is the approval of claims. Are there any questions from the board on claims tonight? Any public comment on claims?
I guess I'll just make a quick comment on claim. You know, hearing from Mr. Simpson earlier, we'll make sure we get figure out what's going on there, and make sure that if there is an apology needed or anything, we do that if it's so deserved, and we'll make sure we do right by all of our contractors. But we'll get more information on that and handle that internally.
Thank you. Any public comment on claims?
None on Zoom.
All right, is there a motion?
I move that we approve claims in the amount of $3,558,733.06.
Second.
I will call the roll. Roach?
Aye.
Cox Deckard?
Aye.
Carone? Aye. Motion passes. And with nothing else on the agenda, I will call for adjournment.